my boyfriend on New Year's Eve, and I have not spoken to him since.
So real quick, I'm going to play this clip of this young lady, and she basically was dating a gentleman for, I believe she said, for 11 months, and she got into a financial bind. So I'm going to play this clip because when she got into her financial bind, her boyfriend kind of real life played with her. So I do want to play this clip because I'm not going to lie to you. If you've been listening to this show long enough, you know my dating history is more like the way they say lesbian women move. Like, I'm quick to get that key. So I felt for her. Like, I felt like, damn, like this was the perfect, like, I wouldn't have needed this perfect opportunity. Like, this would have been like too much of a layup for me.
Before I get into this, I just want to say that me and my boyfriend, we have been together for a year.
Oh,
well,
a year,
almost a year, 11 months. A year on February 2nd, we will have been together. Okay. My boyfriend is also 34, grown man. He also is a homeowner, has a pretty good job, and also has a business that he's starting. So let's start there, right? So recently, I obviously, like you all have known, I have become unemployed. And I have not been able to find a job. I have put in like 30 applications a day. I've got nothing, like barely even an interview. I've gone on 2 interviews. So I've been literally struggling, and I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. Okay. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep it together for this. I'm not gonna get stressed out. I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. It's something so crazy about having hundreds of thousands of dollars one day and then the next day having nothing. But that's what's going on right now. And so I am vulnerable with my man, and I go, hey, I'm gonna need to like stay with you for a little while I get myself together. Like, I don't have anything on the rent. And so I'm going to need to move with you while I get myself together. Mind you, I said he has his own house, his own 3-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood. He also has a best friend. His best friend lives with him, mind you, and has been living with him for however many years that he's like lived there, almost the whole time he's lived there. And so I'm like, if his best friend can live with him, why not his girlfriend, you know? So I'm like, hey, I need a place to stay. Which honestly, in hindsight, I shouldn't even have to ask for that. He knew I was struggling. He should have said, hey, let me take something off of your plate. Like, come stay with me so that you can breathe and get this. If he really cared about me, he would have said that, but he didn't. He sat there and he watched me struggle and then watched me get to the point where I was like, hey, I just need a break. Like, I'm literally so depressed. I'm losing my mind. I can't find anything. Can you please help me? And he said, no. He said, no. He said, no, you cannot live with me. Mind you, living with him is free. Doesn't cost him anything. He said, no. I can't live with him. At first, he goes, oh, I like that we have our own places to retreat to when we get into our arguments. And wrong answer. Number one, when we get into arguments, we never leave. Like, we stay in the same room and we continue to talk it out until we work it through, which I think is a really good habit that we have and a really good green flag that we have in our relationship. Yes, do we get into arguments? So does everyone. Yes, do I lose my cool? I'm a woman, but I rein it back in and we figure it out and nobody goes home. So that's a weird thing to say. We've never even done that. Second of all, that sounds like a problem to me, not a solution. When we get into arguments, we should not be leaving, because what happens when we get married? There is no way to go. We both live in the same house. So maybe that's not a good habit to start. Being that we have not started yet, maybe let's not start that now. On our very first day, I told him that I wanted to be engaged within a year. I said, after a year, I want to be engaged. He said that's plenty of enough time for someone to know whether or not they want to get married or not. This is what he said. We have talked about it, I shit you not, probably 10 times throughout this year. And never once did he say, I don't think this is going well enough for that to be a realistic goal anymore. Never once did he say, hey, like, let's pump the brakes. I don't think that we're doing that well.
All right, I feel like I don't need another 4 minutes or whatever she about to get into. I feel like that's realistically the gist of the conversation. And I guess off the rip, before I could just sit here and say he just obviously don't like you like that. Because if I know, I'm just, as a man, especially if you are a straight man, there's no way in the world I'm gonna be. Not sitting here saying you about to kick your homeboy out, cool. Because if that's your man for real and he needs somewhere to cool. But it's no way that I'm going to allow my man to stay with me, and I'm not going to allow my girl to stay with me unless you really just don't like her. Like, that's, to me, is
not necessarily don't like her, but do you want her up under you that much? Like he said, are we able to go our separate ways after all?
She don't have a place to stay.
Who don't have a place to stay?
She was going to be homeless.
Yeah, I mean, you don't like her, dog. Like that's it. It's no if, ands, or but. You can't. There's no way in the world you can tell me you actually like somebody. No, you can't even listen to what I'm saying. It's not even about that you even like her. That means you don't even like the sex. Because if you actually like the sex, you wouldn't let her stay just off of the strength of that. Oh, I got some crazy box. She be going crazy. I can get this every night now. If she listens to what I'm saying, even if I didn't like her as a girlfriend, if she had some torch in the bed and she knew how to cook, bro, that is here go the key, dog. What else you need?
But if they saying they already going through arguments or whatever the case may be.
No, she said every couple has arguments.
No, but they already been through the arguments.
So
they
what?
What does that mean?
But okay, but what's to say that I don't want to be like I know how you live. I don't want to be up under you.
And that means you don't like her.
Right. I mean, that's cool. But I get that part. That's what I'm saying. Like it can be that, right?
No, just don't. It's just that's what it is. You don't like her. It's not nothing else about it. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. So maybe I need to like, bro, breathing room. You go to work. You can go wherever else you need to go. You're not sitting here saying she's saying you got a 3-bedroom apartment. Cool. I'm not. You can still have a spare room if it's that much of a break. Like I'm going in here to play the game. You ain't sitting here saying you about to move her in and she about to take the other bedroom. No, she about to sleep with you every night. Like, man, that's crazy. There's no way in the world you can tell me you like this girl or you like her sex. Or she may just don't cook. And else could be some of her problems with her, maybe her red flags. But that to me just seems crazy. You've been with somebody for a year and you're going through a hard time. And then it was like, nah, I'm cool. I hope for her, that's a learning lesson. And for anybody who listening or hearing that story, like, don't turn your nose up at it because just like she said, it's crazy. I had a good job. You know what I'm saying? I had a couple. She might have been gassing it a little bit, saying she had hundreds of thousands in her bank account, and now you lose your job, and now you kind of like scrimmaging about to be depressed. That math ain't mathing. But still, with all that being said, that should just let you know that sometimes the materialistic stuff ain't important because you can absolutely lose it. And that was just her getting a taste of when people be like, life be life, and life just life to her. But she just you got to see firsthand it. This dude ain't really for you. He don't really bang with you at all. He don't even bang with your sex. I'm telling you, ladies, listen to what I'm telling you. If the box was at least torch and you could really throw down in the kitchen, that to me should have almost been a damn like, here, bro, I was waiting for you to ask for a key. Like, that's to me is just crazy because I'm with her. Like, that logic makes sense to me. Like, I'm thinking like she thinking like, damn, your homeboy live here. He ain't letting you clap his cheeks or unless y'all doing something that I don't know about. But he can stay here for free and I can't like make that make sense.
Marcus, you shaking your head?
I mean,
Bro, there's no way in the world me and another man can share a space, and I cannot share a space with somebody I've been in.
Like you can share a space with a person, but like you said, if you don't like her or I don't fuck with her like that to be in my space all the time, that's what I'm saying. Just because she got good sex, I don't mean guarantee that I want you to be there all the time.
I feel like when we sit here saying all the time, I feel like that means you wouldn't have he got a job. You got to go to work. Y'all
yeah, but I still got it. But that's still all the time. You're there all the time. Like I've been at work. I come home. I want to get on the game. Like, no, baby, can we cut and watch Netflix? I don't want to see you.
Yeah, but I feel like all of that should have been already established beforehand. Like you didn't establish
right.
That.
But if
like,
we were living in two different places,
no, it's not because even if y'all lived in two different places, you would have still bumped heads with the video game and the Netflix thing, even if y'all didn't live together. Because it could just be like one day when you just in that bug and you got that mood, like when you really locking on the game or you mid like in a hot streak of your season and you got a good game coming up. Like anybody who play video games, you can get locked in. And I'm sure that you're going to be locked in and what you telling me your girl can't even come over because you locked in on the game. So y'all should have had that argument or that conversation already before it even got to her not having a space. Like that to me should have been something you probably should have bumped into realistic. Again, if we sit here saying the box is good, because dog, sometimes even off the late night, I'm sure even if she had her own space and she spent the night one night. What you see here saying? So every night that she spent the night when y'all both had your own separate spaces to go. You never played the video game before, so y'all never had that conversation. So yeah, of course, if I'm living like that, if I can't touch my video game because my girl is over, then yeah, I get why somebody wouldn't want. But to me, if you talking about y'all adults and you kind of unless you hide and you want to play video games, because I know some women get turned off by dudes who play video games. But if that's the case, you should have already had this argument and y'all should have already been over this topic. That should have been 2 months into the relationship.
11 months in. How you don't like me at 11 months? Why are we still together then? Especially if we had the conversation that I wanted to be married in a year.
And he answered the conversation as,
He told her no. He told her no.
He was looking for it. So you kept pursuing it, or
no.
So now that he's saying that he don't want you to live there,
he didn't say he didn't want to marry her. He just said she couldn't live with him.
Yeah,
no.
After you say you don't want her to live it, that marriage thing is dead. That you. After you tell somebody,
I thought he did say like I thought that like maybe I've been right before he cut it off. I thought that's what like he wasn't really paying no mind. So he
to
was.
get to that. So I'm thinking we're doing well. We're on schedule. After a year or a year and a half, we'll probably get engaged. Then he goes, I don't think I want to live with someone again until I'm married to them, which is some new boundary that he literally just made up because he's never said that the whole time we've been together. And I go, maybe it's not a good idea that you live with someone after you already got married to them, because what if you guys are not compatible to live together and you don't know that until after you're already married? Then what? That's really dumb, actually. And so I'm like, okay, that's a completely new thing. But granted, it's been a year. We set our goal for a year. Are we going to get married? And he goes, no, that was your goal.
Thank you.
Since when was this my goal? It was my goal, but like, I thought we were in agreement because you never said that we weren't in agreement.
Y'all be in your head.
Clearly, I made all this
You
up in
didn't
my
tell her
head. And this was never a goal. I just thought it was a goal because I continuously talked about it. And he never said that it was unrealistic. As a matter of fact, he said the quite opposite, that it was a realistic goal to have. And never once, as we neared to the end of that year, did he ever say, hey, I don't think we're close to being married. So imagine my surprise when he says, I don't think we're close to being married. We still have things to figure out, because a couple of nights ago, I got super irritated at him and yelled at him and told him to leave my house. And apparently that's enough of a reason for him to be like, whoa, I don't want to marry her. All right. So yeah. And so I said, hey, I'm actually scared that I'm going to be homeless because
you homeless.
I said, I'm actually thinking I'm going to be homeless because I don't have a job and these bills keep coming and I can't do it no more. I'm tapped out of resources. And I think I'm going to end up, if you don't let me live with you, I'm going to end up in my car, living in my car, something like being actually homeless. And
your family
he goes, well, plenty of millionaires have lived in their car before.
You said that.
That's crazy, though.
What the fuck? So basically he said, yeah, no, I'm not going to help you. I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. I know it's hard, but basically he told me that you never really do have anybody to depend on and you come alone in this world and you are your own person and you should be your number one priority because nobody else is going to be dependable,
bro, that was basically like a huge, like, dog, that's basically what he's like, bro, that is crazy. Like, what are we talking, like, nah, she better than me because that like that, her maturity level, I respect her. I mean, of course, again, that's why, again, shout out to TikTok. That is to me why TikTok is absolutely the greatest app, because for a video like this, I'm sure even just, I don't know, I ain't go out of, because I seen this on Twitter, so I don't know how many followers she got, but if I'm just going off of just her aesthetics or whatever the case may be, I'm sure she probably don't got hundreds of thousands or millions of followers. So for this video, it's like she's better than me because I would have crashed out. Like that's one of them Jones where I wouldn't be mad if a girl she going 20 black stories on the Instagram calling you all types of little D's and all of this. Like I would get it, because that's what would be so heartbreaking, that you've been with somebody for a year and you sit here telling me you hit a real live, like this ain't just like, oh, I need to get an oil change or I got a flat tire, can you let me use your, no, it's not. This is a real life, almost like you on to the point where you about to be homeless, and for you to be that vulnerable with somebody, because most of us don't want to be that honest with somebody when you telling them like, dog, I'm tapped and I really ain't got nothing. I don't have no other resources. I don't have no other help. And this is somebody I'm sure if you talking about a year in, that mean this is somebody you've been hunching with raw. You didn't let this bag crack raw and he told you, nah, dog, I can't do it for you. Man, she better than me. Like, I wouldn't be like, I ain't gonna say this because I don't want to put that type of energy out, but that would have been one of them jokes. I would have made it, wouldn't be mad if she would have sit here through a wild story out against him just off the strength of this, because she's taking it very mature, because I don't necessarily know if I'm this level of mature. Because that's crazy, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. That I felt for her when I first seen this, John. I was like, nah, dog, that's crazy. And I seen it and seen a girl kind of dragging her, and I'm like,
because I mean, because you living in your own head. Like, if you said he said all this to you for, and you still trying to...
So listen, what I'm saying. I get what you're talking about. You talking about the marriage part? Screw that part, dog.
But not even necessarily the marriage
for a year.
But not necessarily even the marriage part. It's just like, dog, you seen the writing on the wall. You didn't want to believe it.
How? What was the writing on the wall?
Obviously, they said they didn't have conversations for a while, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't just a conversation just that day. You had the conversations beforehand.
No, but you're talking about the marriage part. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about just allowing somebody to just live in your space. Even if you know in the back of your head that you really don't bang with this girl and you don't want to marry her.
But my thing is, they had arguments before. They didn't just have this argument just now. They had arguments before. That's what she said. We never left. We just talked about it. So you had disagreements before. Like I said, sometimes females get in that where, all right, yeah, we are a couple. This is what I want. You living in that fairy tale and not being reality.
Well, then bring them to reality and
But I shouldn't have. But okay, but you said,
because I just had a conversation with my friend that I hate wasted time. If you're not trying to do what I'm doing, then let me know. Stop wasting my time.
But okay, but
that's crazy to me. I mean, like I said,
so okay, but if you put this whole, well, I wanted to be this. I didn't say I wanted to be this.
Then say no.
Yeah, I do. I heard when she said that part, like I said, I mean, I get it because I do think to be even wanting to get married in a year is kind of like that's extremely
crazy.
Fast. Yeah, I get that part is crazy, but I'm just talking about just off the hey, I'm going through a hard time. Screw the marriage part. Take the marriage part out. I don't care about that part because I'm with you on that one. That's extremely too fast to sit here and be moving. I sit here was literally just had an argument with a girl, like not even a real one, but just an argument. She was just like, well, how long? She sent me like a clip or something saying like should you like if you and your partner should y'all have each other's John? I'm like, yeah, maybe if y'all each other password to the phone. I'm like, yeah, maybe after like a year. She's like, yeah, that's too long. I'm like, bro, who's giving you their password to their phone before a year? You know how much stuff people got in their phone right now? Like your phone is damn near almost like everything. Your social security card, your bank card, screw the social media part, screw the text messages part. My personal stuff that is attached to your phone or attached to emails or whatever in your phone, there's no way in hell I'm just willy-nilly giving to any person that I've been dealing with for less than a year my password to my phone. You know how crazy that sounds? Like that don't even make sense to me. Like when she and you like real like, well, I seen what she say? I seen a dating coach or somebody say that it's supposed to be you supposed to be able to be comfortable to give somebody your password in a couple of months. Yeah, I said, yeah, that's cool for them. I would never take parts of that. I'm not even going to sit here and string you along and be like, oh yeah, well, how many months you think should be like what? Anything but past the year, you're not touching my phone. I will give you a key to where I live at before I give you my phone code. Like, bro, be serious. Like, stop what you're doing. Like, that's crazy to me. And that to me, and that could some people may hear me say that and be like, that's kind of irresponsible. Why would you give somebody a key? Because I can deal with whatever you try to do in real life via what you can do to somebody on the phone. Like, I feel like you can do way more dangerous stuff with somebody's password, or you get somebody's social security number, or you can get their credit card information off their phone than what you can do if you just living in my house and I ain't got nothing in here real besides a TV and a bed and some clothes. Like, I'm cool. All right, take you. Whatever can happen with that. I don't care about that stuff. But what you can get is somebody credit card, you got to go get a whole new card. You got to get a whole new social security. That's something completely different. So like I said, I mean, I'm not mad at that girl. I feel for her that dude that she was dealing with, he just like dragged her. While we're talking about dating stuff,